Boom.
Hit the button.
Wait for it to pop up. It instantly says we're live, which makes me think that new processing thing, you were talking about, Colt. I think YouTube has got a little more overhead now that they stopped counting everyone's views in real time. But if we are live, and please check the channel, let me know if you guys see this. There's kind of a delay on mine still. So, instantly says thank you so much. Yeah, I think it just popped up. Thank you guys so much for joining RDX Podcast Live. We do appreciate it so much. We've got a ton of great topics, some great guests as well. We'll get into introduction shout-outs. We got some gameplay up on screen. First and foremost, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I don't have any overlays made. I'm getting some made. But if you guys don't like it, let me know. We will change it around. If you do like it, let me know, and we can improve it, right? So it could be distracting or not. So just let me know what you think of the gameplay stuff. It's just an hour of Horde on loop, basically. So you'll see some.
It looks
dumb
good.
Shit. Does it?
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I'm impressed.
Putting that Threadripper to use.
It does look pretty good, but the guy playing looks like a fucking pleb.
Yeah, you'll notice that guy playing is ahead of Zalker 87 on the scoreboard almost every round. So we're gonna go ahead and carry forward. We're gonna get into some introductions, and we're gonna get into some shoutouts, and we have so many great topics to talk about today. So much stuff happened today, Colt. I can't wait to get into it. Colt, the naughty dog of YouTube. How have you been, sir? Once was an insult is such a compliment now.
It is. I'm like the Neil Druckmann of YouTube.
You got a man bun.
Dealer. Yeah, Dealer, thank you so much for having me on my show. I appreciate it.
No problem, buddy. We've also got...
I was on... Hey, well, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I set aside 13 seconds to do my intro. It's good to be on RDX. I was on Boom 6 podcast last night. I had a good time. But it's always good to be with the RDX guys.
Of course. This is
the naughty dog of gaming, do you take things out of your game that should be there?
Oh my god.
Soccer.
Okay, let's just move it on. All right, move on to the next intro.
Little Soccer, you don't got to get into the fuck shit this early, buddy. Don't got to get me demonetized this early, all right? So we've also got D Batch, my brother from another mother. Obviously, we've been talking for years. D, I miss you every single week because you're kind of like a bad real father that's not there, and you talk to him every now and then. How have you been, buddy?
It's been good, man. I've been playing a lot of games, actually, and we got a lot of news in this cycle. They should be a really interesting show, man. I'm really excited to get into the topics. And I'm looking at the screen here. I am a little distracted looking at the screen because this gameplay really looks crispy smooth, man. I think it's a good addition. I think we should all play multiplayer while we do this show, man.
No, I think that's a bad idea. I think it's very obvious when we do that. You can't concentrate on Gears of War and podcasting at the same time. It's impossible.
I'm distracted looking at this video.
All right, well, just pause it. Just pause it. All right, just pause it. Hey, we've also got, and by the way, both Fonz and Tim are not here. They're on a play date today, so they couldn't be on the show. They'll be back next week. We wish them the best of luck. Be safe out there. Zalker 87, man, how have you been?
I've been really good, man. I've actually having a good time today. Playing season 3 of Apex. That game is fucking fun. The map is fun, and I'm happy to be on here, man, talking with everybody about the awesome news that's happening. And it's with great emotion that I'm here. I appreciate it.
Well, we hope to hear that emotion as you rag on Sony for an hour.
I'm not gonna do that.
It's just gas, man.
The legend, Guillermo Cavillo. You've heard his name many times on the show. Shout out to the panel. Getting ready. Can't wait for the show. Get ready for the show. Thank you so much, sir. Absolutely wish that Guillermo Cavillo was on the show right now, actually. But again, we have also got one of the special guests today is Wilmy Hood. I was on his show last night. If you missed it, check out my Twitter. It's linked there. It's why you should follow all of us on Twitter. Wilmy, how have you been, sir? You lead the Xbox Beyond the Box podcast. We had an interesting show last night.
I would say interesting. Yeah, that was a good way to put it.
Yeah. Just a little.
We talk games and we just have fun. We bullshit, I mean, it is what it is, man. Just gamers getting together, talking games, and having a good time doing it.
Now, I see Centurion. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here. I'm like Batman. I just pop up.
Oh man. Well, I believe you now. How have you been, man? I want to have you on because I've been talking to you for quite a while. You make some of the highest quality content of anybody that has under a couple hundred subscribers, honestly. I mean that. Go subscribe to this man right now. That's what I'm telling everybody. So, Centurion, please, after the show, link your channel in the comment section, and I'll pin it. Just let me know when you do so on Twitter. But you make really good stuff, and you're a great guy. So, thanks for joining us, man. How have you been?
I'm doing great, man, and really thank you for inviting me to be here. And yeah, we've been chatting for a while. We've been playing games together, and I really wanted to make this happen today. I used my Grand Theft Auto driving skills to fight Phoenix traffic to get here on time.
So you murdered 6 people. That's not good to confess to.
There might be some news. I don't know.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, man. Obviously, you've seen the show many a time. We fly through things. We try to have fun and get, be efficient with our time and the people's time as well. A lot of topics.
Oh, I know, man. I enjoyed that itinerary you sent me.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. But hey, this is already really a long intro. We got to get to the patron shout-outs, and I got to thank these guys a lot because thick or thin, whatever time of the year, don't fucking matter. When there's not shit happening, these guys are always here supporting the content they like, stuff like that. And this is just the shout-out tier. So if you want to be one of these people, the link's down below. This list will refresh tomorrow. Or, yeah, I think tomorrow. So we got Friendly Combat, John Blue, shout out to him, he's always crushing skulls, Darth Chaos, Nerdy Meathead, Prython, Vecboss, Deviator X. It was the DV83. He's like, call me this. And I'm like, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right because he busted my balls on Twitter for it last time. Deviator X. If I'm getting that wrong, sir, please tell me. Obi-Wan FTW, good guy. Tasteless Genie, Scout Trooper, Centurion, who's in the show right now. Check his website out, legionofgamer.com. I always shout it out. Black, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, longtime subscriber, Darj Knight, one of my good buddies, Michael Bowen. Yes, Michael Bowen. I somehow switched it up to Michael Brown one of the last times I transferred the list. It's Michael Bowen. I apologize. Guillermo, who's in the chat. Channing Pennington, as well as Wilmy Hood, who's also in the show here. Bad Boy Live, who is an awesome guy as well. Naughty Nubbin. We've also got Alfonso Hogan, A-Squad, who is playing Ghost Recon right now. Has been playing it for a few days. Slim Killer 73, and of course, Mo Cool Kid. We need to talk soon, buddy, so reach out to me on Xbox, all right? But hey, we got a giveaway to announce. Not to give out now. It's going to be this show, live during the show. Somebody's going to win a copy of Borderlands 3 for, is it any platform, Wilmy?
Any platform.
Any platform. It could be for the Engage. So all you got to do is be in the chat. And of course, we are going to say, if you watched Wilmy's podcast last night, he gave out a secret word. And please, if you know it, don't say it until you're ready or you're not going to win. You're just giving people the answer. So just get ready. I'll announce when I'm ready to give this game away. I'll ask for the secret word. Whoever posts it in the chat, Wilmy's going to choose a winner. We'll announce it.
Nuggets.
He'll send you a copy of Borderlands 3 right now. Right after the show.
That will not melt your console.
Yeah. It's a non-console melting edition.
Exactly.
But again, thank you guys so much. Thank you to Wilmy, who's doing this. He don't got to do it. He's just fucking doing it. So thank you so much. And let's go ahead and get into some of the topics here. Now, Shawn Layden leaves Sony. Now, as you guys know, Shawn Layden has led probably the most successful part of Sony's generation, releasing games like God of War, Spider-Man, and more. This was interesting because the news was just announced randomly by Sony from a tweet. Nothing else, no press release, no tweet from Shawn at the time. Last time I looked, there might be one now. There are rumors of internal power struggles. I've heard this from several people. What are the possibilities here, Colt Eastwood?
I don't know. It's
no,
kind
D-Batch Jr. here.
No, you're like, what are the possibilities? You were going to ask me what I told you I didn't want to speculate.
Tell me if we'll ever have flight powers. Tell me, what do you think? Like, you can speculate. Say it's speculation.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing with Shawn Layden is he has been leading the PlayStation generation for a little while. He's in charge of the studios. Jim Ryan took his old job, right? Everything's going really well. So,
which Jim Ryan was the guy saying who wants to play old games when they're talking about Microsoft backwards compatibility.
And you got to save the kids too. Remember crossplay.
Well, he was saying who wants to play old games, but then they're selling you PlayStation Now, which at the time only had old games to stream, right? So I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean the PlayStation fans didn't want Jim Ryan to take over, but Shawn Layden has been an excellent leader for the PlayStation. They're at the very pinnacle of the PlayStation. Probably the very pinnacle of the PlayStation as a whole. Like they've just put out their best games with God of War and Spider-Man. They're just about to put out Death Stranding and The Last of Us 2. So like they've probably reached the very peak of what PlayStation has done since they released in 95. So for Shawn to leave, everyone's scratching their head like, what happened? And now rumors are coming out that maybe he was asked to leave. The very next morning, which is this morning, the Japanese counterpart for game studios retired, which it's okay to retire. But experts are saying it's the halfway point of the fiscal year for Japan, and it's normal for leadership to change at that point. But it is really strange that Shawn left with very little fanfare, except for with great emotion. And that's where we're sitting.
Well, it was Sony that had the great emotion.
The Japanese counterpart, I was actually reading up a little bit on it. He said he retired due to age. He didn't really seem like an old guy from the pictures that I saw from him.
He's 58. He said he retired due to what?
Age.
They said he retired due to age.
Really?
That was a press release for out there, yeah, due to age, which is weird.
Wow.
I mean, in that business, you can retire at 58. The guy's, makes $1 million a year or more. But why now? Like, why not just finish out the generation?
Well, because he doesn't want to be. Probably because this generation, they're not doing anything with it. They're done. They're moving on. They're going on to PS5. They're getting ready for PS5. And maybe he just doesn't want to deal with it. Maybe, honestly, how you got to look at it this way, right? This guy has nowhere to go up but down. He has nowhere to go but down. That's just the way it is. It's like he had the best generation. They dominated. What else can he do?
What are the odds that PlayStation 5 is going to do more damage than PS4 did? I mean, it was their most dominant generation ever, right? When serious competition was on the field. And maybe these guys are like, look, I just shot 9 or 10 for 10, and I'm out, bitch. I'm not going downhill from here. I got to give a shout out to Charlie Walker, who took the plunge and hit that join button. Thank you so much, man. New channel member. Do really appreciate it. Also, we've also got Neon Shinobi with $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. This is all very interesting, man. Shawn Layden is he's been around. He's a familiar face at this point. For him to bail when PlayStation is in such a good spot. Chat, let us know what you think. King Long says, the more I play Gears 5 Horde, the more I wish they would make a Gears looter shooter. That would be nuts. A Gears looter shooter? Holy... Yeah, don't even talk about it. We lose our souls. If you're talking about Borderlands style Gears looter shooter...
I'd love it.
Robert Cummings says, great cat. Love the cast, guys. Thank you so much, man. $10 super chat really helps. Eventually, we're just going to get demonetized. Wilmy Hood, for some reason, $2. Thank you, Wilmy Hood. You're on the panel, but thank you very much, sir.
I have to say, though, I think a lot of people need to keep... And I'm going to say this, they have to keep the same energy. Everybody was losing their shit when, a writer or something from 343 left a year before the thing. Do you know how much turnover Sony has? There's a lot of turnover happening right now. Shawn Layden leaving, Jim Ryan taking over another position. It's a lot of turnover. The PS5 generation's not going to look the same, folks.
Yeah.
They're going to go different directions.
And he was a big factor for being such a dominating force. And you're on top. It makes no sense to walk away like that when you're on top. So I don't know.
Barry Sanders them, bro. He didn't want to fucking chill. He was like, I'm done. I'm out.
Now you know what happened is Microsoft's like, hey bitch, you want to work over here?
You know what? That's an interesting question, Dylan.
I'm just kidding, by the way. Somebody will clip that and be like,
somebody's gonna take that way out of context.
Oh, my God, fuck him.
Where do you think he's gonna end up, though? Where do you think he's gonna go?
I don't know, man. He could go anywhere. Wilmy Hood says, Southern people play video games too? Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Wilmy Hood. They definitely do. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot here, and we do have a lot of Sony stuff to cover. We are an Xbox podcast, but we approach all of the gaming topics from the perspective of primarily Xbox fans, right? So we have some people in here that are kind of on several things for a little bit of a discussion, not a circle jerk here, but at the end of the day, a lot of Sony stuff.
Oh, man. I was told Centurion was the fucking pivot.
Oh, man, no, not quite.
I want to make a comment about this whole thing, but I'll just wait because I'm pretty sure what I'm going to say might trigger a few folks.
Well, I'll let you trigger some people after I give Liquid Evil Gamer a shout out as well for becoming a channel member. Thank you so much. Centurion, get the hair trigger ready. Let's go. What do you got?
Right. I'm not wanting to trigger people. Let's get it straight. I own a PlayStation. I love what they do. Wow. But me and Invader were even chatting about this earlier today. I think they might be getting themselves set up to sell. There's been a lot of rumors running around.
Really?
Ooh,
about Sony, you're seeing a lot of the higher ups kind of retire and get out of the game. I'm pretty sure that there's companies throwing money at them, wanting to buy them. And you never know. It's like I was saying to Invader, it's typical strategy when you're flipping a house is you upgrade the house, you remodel it, you make it look good, you buy Insomniac games,
Give that bitch a new toilet, and then you sell it.
Yeah, you invest in cloud gaming. Heck, you even kind of upgrade PS Now. You kind of do all these things to kind of fluff how much the company is worth, and then you get out while the going's good, because just because you start a new generation does not mean you're going to be successful. Like, look at PS2. PS2 was killing it, and then the Xbox 360 came out and it flip-flopped. So some of these guys could be getting out because they have no idea what's going to happen next generation, and they're going to get going while the going's good. And
that is a legitimately interesting theory. I couldn't see it, but that's crazy. Yeah,
there was a rumor that Apple was going to buy Sony. Like, there was a huge rumor that Apple was like legitimately looking at buying Sony. I was reading about that.
Yeah, there's a rumor that I said headphones are better than 60 FPS with no context too. So, hey.
Look at that.
Hey, Charlie Walker, he says, I'm waiting for this damn streaming. Yeah, it's well on its way, man. But again, man, we got so many great topics to go through, including ones that are way better than this. So let's go ahead and go to one of the more interesting ones, which is kind of a springboard off of this. PlayStation Now drops price and adds big exclusives. Now, for one, I want to start by saying that everyone, the guys that were saying that crossplay would never happen, and the guys that were saying that Sony would never put their games on PlayStation Now, the guys that said PlayStation Now would never really come to mobile devices. Then the job listings leaked, and they signed the deal with Microsoft. Then Phil Spencer confirms that Sony are the ones that really wanted that deal the most. The guys that said that they're never going to come day and date. Well, right now they're not day and date, but this is a big move in the right way. And believe it or not, they're doing one or two things better than Game Pass. Colt Eastwood, I'm going to let you go into all the detail here, but just to start, you can get a whole year of PlayStation Now for $60.
Yeah, this is something that Microsoft has.
And we're not talking about sales, guys. We know we're going to have a ton of people in sales. No, we're not talking about if you find some of these PlayStation Now cards on the back of a truck or Xbox. No, we're talking about official pricing, which will go on sale itself. You can get a whole year for $60, whereas Game Pass, you can't do that without a sale currently.
Yeah, thanks for covering that for me. Yeah, you can get it for the same price as Game Pass, but Microsoft does not offer a discounted year-long subscription. And I think the reason why Microsoft doesn't is they've probably looked at the numbers and they figure they can keep people longer and make more money off of them by going month by month. So if that's true, which is my speculation, then Sony's move to cut the price in half and offer a huge discount for a year-long commitment shows some kind of desperation. They really want to pull a lot more people in. Now I'm going to throw some numbers. I'm going to pull some numbers out of my rear end, but
oh God,
we've heard that PlayStation Now has around 750,000 subscribers. Last time I checked.
Now that was their rumor. That was their reported numbers, right?
That was like a couple months ago or a few months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So PlayStation Now has less than 1 million subscribers. We've heard from executives speaking that Xbox Game Pass subscribers are in the quote, they said millions of subscribers, right, dealer?
Yep.
You did a video.
That was confirmed by Phil Spencer almost a year ago. They already had millions. Yeah.
So let's just say that Xbox Game Pass is at just barely over 2 million, just right at 2 million. PS Now is at 750 million or 750,000 with 2 times the install base. That doesn't look good. And Sony knows how much money is to be made on streaming services because streaming is everywhere. Every major TV outlet has their own streaming service: Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, USA, EA Access on video games, Uplay Plus, Xbox Game Pass, PS Now, goes on and on and on. This is a big deal. And Sony looks like they're kind of in desperation cutting that price and trying to pull people in. And that's what also brought God of War, a game that's barely over a year and a half old.
Yeah,
I think
so.
And I get what you're saying, Colt, but I also think that this does correlate with a lot of the change in the upper division, whatever they have with Shawn, Layden, and everybody.
The upper division or the downer division, Zalker?
I don't know.
Which one is it?
Both. I just think I really
give me
think
that energy, boy.
The change that they're having just really emulates what they're trying to do with the business now. Sony, they've been traditional. I think Shawn Layden's extremely traditional. I think a lot of the people they had there and it worked for them for this generation. But I think that they know that they needed to expand next generation because, like we said, there's been multiple articles, everybody, that Sony needs to compete because there's going to be a lot more competition than just Xbox.
Even Jack
We have,
Trenton
Stadia
came out, right?
Yeah,
he's like, look, y'all motherfuckers got more competition you did when Microsoft had 30 million consoles out there. And
and then Microsoft shot themselves in the face on top of it. So it's just like that's just like what it is, right? Like I think that this is a way of Sony kind of changing the ways of what they're going to be doing with the PlayStation 5. I'll be honest with you, I feel like the PlayStation 5 in Sony's next 3 years is going to be like a test hub for them. I think they're going to test a lot of things out. I think this is a test. I think changing the price is a test. They don't just change the price and then put their best exclusive ever this generation and God of War on there because they think,
but
fuck it, let's just do it.
It's only for 3 months.
It's only for 3 months, yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Right now, yeah.
God of War is a multiplat. God of War is a fucking multiplat right now. I could play it on my PC if I wanted to. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. I can do that if I want. And that's all. And Jez Gordon's doing that right now. He actually put a screenshot of him playing God of War on his PC. He put it on Twitter. So that's a reality. We've been talking about this for months.
I got a question though, Zucker.
Doing a lot of things.
Is God of War now on 75 instead of a 95 or 94? Like, is that 84 now?
Oh no, it devalues.
Is it complete?
So much.
Is it complete fucking dog shit because you can play it somewhere else? Maybe somewhere that you didn't even have an option. You had to play it somewhere else. Doesn't that make it better? Not
go
worse.
To your cushion. Go to your couch cushion. Pull out a couple cents. So you'll get $10, and now it's trash.
God of War is a free game because you can do a 7-day trial on PS Now and beat that game.
Hang on.
Easily
So isn't God of War trash? It's a trash game because I can get it for like free. I don't even have to pay Sony $1 by these guys' logics, right? Now you're lucky that we actually have common sense and a little bit of dignity. Just
and I'll be real. I think Gears of War.
Hold on. This goes in with what you're saying because Van City 92 is saying God of War is only going to be there for 3 months. So there's where's the value in it? Like
what do you mean? Do you play games?
Yeah, like are you telling me that you can't pick up God of War on PS Now next week and not be able to finish that in 3 months and get your money
and that's
worth?
Not even the important part. The important part is that this is a test bed. They are doing this for a reason. This is just the beginning, as this whole podcast, and more importantly, this chat has said for months, even well over a year, this is inevitable. And a lot of these guys couldn't see it for some reason. Like, they don't know business stuff, I guess. Adam, by the way, in the super chat says, rumor is Layden's replacement is a pneumatic. That would be absolutely fucking horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Also, Charlie Walker. Oh, Charlie, that was a different suit. Oh, see, this is doing the super chat
they'll
thing
replace Shawn Layden with somebody that knows what they're doing.
And I'm going to say this: I really think that Sony had these contingency plans to see how. I think they're using Game Pass as like a test hub too. I think they're seeing what the success Microsoft or failures Microsoft's having to see what they're doing. And once Gears came out, which sorry people was a huge fucking success for Game Pass and a huge success for Microsoft.
Game Pass is trash.
It's trash, yeah, but you're a fucking idiot. But no, like that's the whole point is that I think they saw that and they're like, all right, you know what? I think it's time to move forward with this test hub. It's a month later, right? This is a month later that they're doing this and announcing this, and they're putting their biggest exclusive on it. Actually, 2 of them. Uncharted 4 is on there too. That's great. I'm playing that right now for the first time, and I fucking love the game. It's great.
Yep.
It's a great question. Do you think they're gonna day and date Death Stranding?
No, I don't think it'll roll out that fast.
But I think it's coming down the line, and all these guys are going to be eating crow. And like, honestly, as a gamer, you don't see the value of being able to get games day and date if you're subscribed to this service. There's going to be a segment of gamers that are going to really this appeals to them, and the game is still going to sell traditionally the normal way it does. For instance, Gears is number 5 on the charts right now in the US and in the UK. And that game is on Game Pass, supposedly for $1 or whatever. But people are still buying that game. So I think it helps the game overall because it gives it exposure, first of all.
Do you think these guys would rather have the bragging rights that their game can only be played on the console when you buy it? Or would they rather have a game where they can play it where they want or play it at a better price, like a better cost coming in, like through PS Now? That's the problem I see with people. They'd rather brag that you still need a PlayStation to play this, and that makes it. And Sony doesn't want to sell their games day one for $60. Like, why do you hold on to that bragging right over what is a better value for you as a consumer?
I don't know. It's the console wars, and I got to say this. a lot of Sony guys, they don't know what they want until they get it. And I guarantee you, when they get this service
they don't know
over
what they
there,
want until Sony tells them to know what they want.
Yeah. And when they get this service, they're going to fall in love with it, and they're going to see the value, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah. Good
so
service.
what you're saying, D, is none of these frauds better have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, fucking nothing, because they are paying a streaming service instead of supporting what they like, right? Charlie Walker talks about how they could have basically purchased like APPL, but of course that would be called antitrust. Yeah, I don't know much about that, honestly, or I kind of go in with you. Go ahead.
My take on it is basically, unless you're a stockholder for any of these companies, you shouldn't be worried what's in there.
I mean, if you're a stockholder, you want them to do subscription service.
You are a
You'd be like,
stockholder,
yeah,
everybody,
exactly.
every single person listening to the show, you are a stockholder in yourselves, your family, how much money you have. And that's all that matters. How much are you saving? How much are you spending? What are you gaining? What are you losing? You know, if you care that you don't own God of War, if you get on PlayStation Now, don't, it's just an option, just like Game Pass. Don't get it through there. Go buy it. And that's the thing with Game Pass, we've always been telling everybody, like, it's just an option. Like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? S. Vitterman says, no better podcast than RDX. Sony has no multiplayer. Thank you so much. Trying to be messy in the chat already.
Well, I'm gonna just, and this is another thing. Like, is God of War, like, is it just not selling anything now? Is that why they put it on there?
Well, do you really want to go that route? Is that why Xbox games go on there?
Like, it's just dumb. Exactly. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. That's the same energy. It's like, it's just dumb. It's like,
no, it was just put in their greatest hits lineup. If I'm right, they dropped is it the greatest hits lineup? Like games that are $20 or less?
Yeah.
But that's good value. It's like good shit, Sony. That's something that's good.
I just want to give you guys a good example. You guys playing it. You just said it, Zocker, that you never played the game before, and you're loving the game. So now you've just been converted into a fan of the game, and most likely when they come up with their next game, you'll probably invest in that game too. So I mean,
I've played all the Uncharted except 4. That's the point. Like I've always liked it. I just haven't taken the time to play it, and then I decided to not be a fraud. And I'm like, all right, let me play 4 finally. And
It's time. He woke up one day. I'm going to play a PlayStation game.
I've even left, and this is big. I've even left the parties. Like, ask dealer. I'm like, hey, dude, I need to pay attention to this story. I'm gonna freaking bounce. Ask them. I did, and because I want to be immersed in it.
Hey, real quick, I gotta give a shout out to almost 700 people watching this. Well, at least that's what it says on my screen. It's kind of glitching up, but almost 700 people watching this live, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, share this out, retweet it, help us out a little bit if you're into Xbox and you got some friends that are too. There's too much negative bullshit out there from like a lot of the, just bullshit out there. So again, we're trying to get some positivity out there, and keep in mind that the gameplay on screen, I don't know if you guys are watching this, but let us know, especially after the video renders and uploads, if this should stay or go. And on the Discord, on the Patron Discord and all that stuff, let me know, because I don't know. I want you guys' intake on this. And of course, new overlays and stuff coming, but it can be distracting. But yeah, thank you guys for doing what you do. Finger banging that like button if you do want to support the show. Wilmy Hood, your take on PlayStation Now getting some of their biggest exclusives of the entire generation, dropping their price to compete with Game Pass, even outmatching without sale the yearly cost of these games. That's a lot of games for $10 a month. That's a good value. That's a good move. It's pro-consumer. What are your thoughts after seeing all the bullshit people have been saying over months that this would never happen? Things like this would never happen. Where is it going to you?
I think it's hilarious because we all knew it was coming. I mean, there was no denying it, man. There's just no way.
How did these people deny it then? Like, where are they at?
Well, come on, dude. You've been on the internet. People. I've already, like Zocker said a minute ago, I'm playing God of War on my PC right now while we do the podcast. I want to see what it's like to play it on a PC.
Is it good?
Yeah, especially on an Origin PC.
So,
yeah,
you basically, and I obviously I know the answer to the things I'm telling you, but I'm asking you so I can get your take on, maybe the chat wants to hear what women. Why are people so delusional about this? Why are they so anti-service like this when it's clearly an option? Are they afraid that it will become the only option?
Well, it is going to become the only option.
You think so?
Look at music, look at movies. It's going to become the only option.
It's a little bit different, but yeah, I get why he would say that though, Zucker, but I don't know. I think that's a long time if that ever does happen.
It will be a long time.
Movies on disc. I got like 700 of them on the wall right now.
Well, you can still buy music and movies digitally.
Well, there's still museums in the world.
Exactly.
You know, there's still museums of skeletons too. We get it, but like what I'm saying is that it's not gonna, you know, that's there's not gonna be, it's not gonna take over because it's very like, you know, gaming again is about user interaction, right? The joysticks, everything, the way you move, movement. That's the whole point. It's harder to make that part of streaming and just keep it there. So there's always the hardware is always going to be king. Always is always going to be king. But
whatever's best will be king, and hardware will always be king, right? Because the streaming comes from hardware. Never be better.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. But I don't know. To me, I think it's more of an investment, right? Like, I think everyone in this panel, I think everybody in chat, except for some of the trolls that are just waiting to clip us, are going to buy an Xbox no matter what, right? They're always going to get that hardware. But to me personally, like a PlayStation, like I literally only play it for this exclusives. If they were day and date on a service like that, I would play them on that service on my PC. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am because I don't use my Sony PlayStation thing for anything else but the exclusives. And so far, they've been nothing but single player. And, you know, apparently they're going to be even more single player. So I don't know, man. Like, that's just the way I see things with Sony. Like, Xbox, I want the system always because I love the system. Sony, I'm kind of like, I can play these games whenever I want. They're story-driven games.
Zucker, if you were a PlayStation only gamer, you only had a PS4, nothing else. If Sony teased the idea of putting their brand new exclusives like Death Stranding and Last of Us 2 day and date on PlayStation Now, would you be mad?
No, I'd fucking subscribe for $10 and play.
I mean, there's people in this chat that are PlayStation fans that are like, but they're not day and date. They still have to wait a year, which is good. I'm like, why are you happy about that?
Do you guys realize that you were doing like the God of the Gaps thing? Like, well, it hasn't happened yet. So, you know, and eventually it does happen, and then you got to back up a little bit and say, well, this hasn't happened yet. You guys were saying that a lot of shit wasn't going to happen. Crossplay, all this stuff. You didn't think that they would do half the stuff they've done, and they are clearly moving
like
in that
being
direction.
upset that Redbox where you can rent movies. Like, let's say there's a rumor that there's going to be a green box or a game box where it just has like every brand new game, and they're planning on putting one in front of your Walgreens. You're like, no, they better not put one of those in front of my Walgreens because that's
sitting
exactly
there watching it be installed.
Like.
No.
No! I want to own my game.
Oh my god!
And of course, Man City 92 says it devalues the game, just like Gears 5 did.
No, it devalues the game. What do you mean? Like if you download the game, if you download any game digitally, you're not reselling that bitch. What value are you trying to get back out of it? Or are you saying that?
No kidding.
You know, like think for a second.
And I'll be honest with you. I think Sony, like honestly, I feel like Sony really trolled the biggest trolls of Sony's side. Like usually when we get in arguments with these people,
like they literally go like they do the opposite.
Yeah, like they literally go like when we get in arguments with these people, they're like, well, you don't have God of War. It's like, well, first of all, I do, so you're an idiot. But second of all, it's like, well, now everyone has God of War. It's a multi-plat. Like they can't go to their flagship that they just go, oh, when they look at it, like, yeah, fuck you, this is what we have. It's like, no,
is it trash now? No. I mean, at least I have to pay a little bit more money. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I gotta pay 60. You gotta pay 10. Who's the loser now? Like,
well, I own Uncharted.
Like, all right, buddy.
I own Uncharted 4. I played it 2 years ago. I played all the way through it, and I could play it again. I could put it back into my PlayStation and play it. I haven't. But I mean, think about it. If PlayStation Now had day and date, those first party games would stay there. So if you're like, well, it devalues Death Stranding to be there day and date, I'm renting it. But it would never leave as long as you're still paying. And just think about what Xbox Game Pass does. For $120 a year, you're going to get 4 first-party Xbox games every year. So at that pace for the service alone, and those games never leave. So if you're saying it devalues, the Coalition put out one of the best Gears games they've put out in a long time.
I think it's the best Gears game ever.
It is one of the best games. It absolutely took no compromise for being in Game Pass. And I was wrong. I said like a month ago that it was the first
talented.
I said it was one of those games that wasn't made with Game Pass in mind. And Rod Ferguson just did an interview saying that they knew that it was going to Game Pass when they started development.
Well, of course they did.
A long time.
I mean, but people use being developed with Game Pass in mind is a bad thing. When in reality, it just means they know they're going to have a ton of players. We need a tutorial. We need an extra easy mode, which does not affect the difficulty. I was told by Elite or Immortal Jedi that this is probably the hardest insane mode of any Gears of War ever. That is not a compromise on the difficulty just because they added an easy mode for people in Game Pass that are maybe very young, right? Manny, tattoo artist, who's been waiting patiently for me to read this damn thing. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat, man. He says I own
excuses. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He says I own
My bad.
I own all consoles. I always end up back on my Xbox. I know we need more content, but what is that? Somebody just fucking
D-Batch is fucking dancing with his
D-Batch is back there like blowing a fucking horn.
Just flared up. My bad.
He says I always end up back on my Xbox. We do need some console or some content, but it's been a cycle. Sony's been there as well. Don't know why people act like it's a new thing, but I do understand people's concerns. Yes, I mean, as long as you are doing it in the right way, constructive criticism, because we had a couple years of a rough drought on Xbox. We've talked about it over and over and over. So we're glad that shit's pretty much over and heading forward. Things are looking better and better and better. So thank you so much, man. But go ahead.
Can I just say one thing, dealer?
Yeah.
I think the trolls, they just keep hanging on to this dollar deal that Game Pass.
I can get God of War for free, so they can all fuck off.
For initial buyers. Like every company's gonna have a promotion. Sony's gonna have a promotion. They might do it for free, $1, fucking $2.
Did they do the
Who
Netflix
knows?
trial that was free? Like what? I don't understand. What's their logic?
But that's not the reoccurring rate. After you get that promotional discount, you don't get that discount again. You have to pay into the service. So I don't understand that. And it's $10 a month. That's a great value for a gamer. You get to play all those games for $10. What are you complaining about?
You know, Hulu had a 99 cents per month for you could get it for like $12 for a year.
Hulu's trash.
Thing. And Hulu had like all and I haven't used Hulu. I never had it, but like that's what these people do. They get a bunch of people on, their user base goes up, and then they go, "Hey, did you like what did you enjoy the service? Well, now it's this much money." Like that's just what happens. Like it's just business, people. That's just what happens.
Xbox
and it worked.
Xbox Battlegrounds, real quick, with a fantastic new Colt Eastwood logo, says that gaming as a service, which we have to be careful when we even say that, because a lot of people don't know the actual definition of games as a service, right? People think that, you release a game with no content and you patch it all in later. They think that's games as a service, whereas something more like World of Warcraft is really games as a service, or I guess you could try to define Game Pass as games as a service if you go that route and get your games through there. But Xbox Battlegrounds says games as a service at this point has become like death. It is inevitable, and in the near future, everybody else will accept the same business model.
And that's what I was just going to touch on. I have UPay Plus. It's about to expire, and I'm thinking to myself, do I want to spend $80 and get Ghost Recon, or do I want to pay $12 and have the game and have access to the rest of their games service? Like, it's just a no-brainer.
But you should feel like shit because you're not worried about a corporation's dollar, D.
He touched on trolls, and there was one. I normally don't call people out on Twitter, but I actually had to repost this guy's tweet.
I saw you curb stomp him.
Apart. And well, the funny part is he pointed out, he was like straight up said in his tweet, Game Pass is for poor people. And wow. I remember that. Retweet that, and oh my god, that dude started getting tore apart because I was just like, dude, I know plenty of people that got way more money than I do, and they got Game Pass. But how dare you say something like that? Because not everybody in this world is in the same situation as you, where you can buy your games at full price and not care. Money's tight for almost everybody, so. To say that's for poor people is absolutely absurd. No, it's consumer friendly and it helps those living on a budget.
Even if you're not on a budget, I mean, I think it's smart for you if you decide that you want to rent games, right?
How do you think rich people stay rich? They fucking mind their money.
Dude. Hey, speaking of rich, Charlie Walker says $1 trillion company, sustained $1 trillion company. Talking about Microsoft. I said this in a video. Microsoft are a sustained $1 trillion company. If you don't think they've run the numbers in their fucking heads, and you think you know some shit they don't, you better go apply for a genius test or something. All right.
I'm gonna say this. And first of all, Wilmy Hood, I think that was you that said about that guy. That guy's a fuckface. But I think that I'm gonna be honest. Like one of the things that kind of irritated me was EA has Origin, which is day and date on PC. You get all their games that come out: Madden, FIFA, Star Wars. All this stuff comes out, but it's only on PC. Like, do you understand how much I actually want that to come to console? I would pay $99 for the year to get all of EA's games in a fucking heartbeat. I do play Madden.
You heard his tiny ass finger snap?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, Trump's at my house.
Oh
no,
my
but
god.
I just, that's just, I would do it in a heartbeat because I do want to play like Star Wars. I wouldn't mind checking out FIFA. I've never played one, to be honest. And I like Madden when it comes to EA Access. I just kind of mess around with it for like a week or two. Like I just have fun with it. And that's, if I could just get those games day and date and just play them, like why the fuck not? They're $60 each. If I get them for 100 in the year, it's like, hello, it's fucking math, people.
Hey, Brian in the chat. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be moving things around. I'm working on overlay stuff right now, man. So thanks for bearing with me, man. Just let me know if it's good or bad. The gameplay stuff is if it's distracting and all that. Just let me know.
And so far it's so good. But
well said, Zocker.
Thanks, buddy.
Have any of you guys actually done the PS Now subscription yet?
No.
Nope.
I wish Fonz was here because he has some fucking just nightmare fuel.
I did.
I've heard it's better. I've heard it's better now. Like,
I subscribed this morning, but it does not include your PlayStation Plus.
No,
It doesn't come with it, you mean?
No, it doesn't come with it.
It does not come with it. It's not a package deal like Game Pass.
Well, there's no multiplayer games to play, bro. So it's okay. Moving on.
Well, a guy today told me that he's been paying for PS Now for a long time, and he says it's better than Game Pass. And someone said, "Well, what's better about it?" He goes, "Well, I don't know. I just use it to play PS3 games." And I said, "Backwards compatibility is free on Xbox."
Yeah, that's the argument I heard a lot today. Oh, it has over 800 games. Game Pass only has like 80 games or whatever.
Game Pass has almost 200.
That's the only thing that's appealed to me about PS Now is their backwards compatibility catalog. But me being who I am, I don't want to buy into it because I don't agree that backwards compatibility should be blocked by a paywall.
Yeah.
It's just like when Xbox Live was blocked by a paywall back in the day. Like even in my earliest days, I was like, that's fucking bullshit. I can not Xbox Live itself, but Netflix rather. You had to have Xbox Live.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Have Xbox Live to use Netflix, and you could pull out your phone, any other device in the world, you could watch it for free, right? But people would say, well, I have gold, so it doesn't affect me. But it's more the principle of the matter. M2 Faithful says, where was he coming to Game Pass? Going to give it a try. Yeah, I did a review on that, man. Give it a watch.
Is it really coming to Game Pass?
I don't know.
It is.
I'm taking M2 Faithful's word for it. I'm faithful in M2 Faithful. But we've been on this topic for a while. Charlie Walker, you were lighting this chat up, brother. It's hard to keep up. xCloud will triple Microsoft subscribers. Now, that's something we've said as well. That's the whole point of it, is to broaden that scope and bring even niche titles that don't appeal to people in America or wherever. Might appeal, you have access to it on your phone across the world. Sony's back in Azure. It's a win-win for Microsoft, period. I'm definitely a stockholder. I'm starting to believe it. Long Microsoft. Okay, the chat just fucked up. Sorry, I lost your thing, buddy. Thank you, Mike. I always have problems with this fucking chat, bro. It just flew up somewhere. I have no clue where it went. Maybe I need to re-download Chrome. Maybe that's my issue. What do you think, Zocker? Think that's my issue?
Download Chrome, you fucking fraud.
Okay. We've also got
Is
Omega.
there anything else but Chrome?
Omega / Buster 1. He says, you guys do know there are collector's editions. Yes. Sorry, I don't know when you put this, but I'm trying to think about what that could be in reference to. But let's go ahead and move forward in topics. We've been on this topic for a minute. Let's go ahead and move down to...
let's do it.
I love this next one. Let's do this one. Yes.
All right, Zonker. Since you're going to go in hard on this one, I know. Last of Us 2 dishes multiplayer in the fucking world! Now, here's the thing. Everyone talks about how great the last multiplayer was from the last of Us. I didn't think it was fucking shit. People also forget that it was riddled with microtransactions, but, only Microsoft are evil, right? What happened, Zalker? And what are your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest with you. I think that Sony or whoever, Naughty Dog, either couldn't make the deadline to bring the multiplayer with the single player, so they cut it to save a buck, or they're fucking frauds. I don't know. Like, it really does irritate me because a lot of people, if you even get in arguments with people about like, oh, Sony doesn't have multiplayer, they really do hinge off of Uncharted and Last of Us, especially the Last of Us multiplayer.
That's pretty much all you hear about, right?
That's all you hear about. And I've heard from people that are not even trolls that go, I actually really enjoyed the multiplayer aspect of The Last of Us. Like, they love the factions. They loved a bunch of stuff, like all the stuff in there. They're like, it's very unique that it's nothing else is kind of like it out there.
Hey, I'm like, that's cool. Sorry, Zucker. I just blinked and I forgot that you were talking, buddy. I'm just going to be honest.
That makes me feel
I feel like maybe I should go to the doctor or something after that one. Sir X-Man, I just saw him in the chat and I was like, it's been a minute since I've seen him. I want to give him a shout out. But Go ahead. I knew you were on a good point.
Yeah, no. So, and these are people that are not trolls, right? Like we're having an actual conversation about good multiplayer games because I am a multiplayer centric gamer. I am. Everybody knows that. I love playing multiplayer with my buddies and all that. And for them to take it out, like it wasn't just backlash for me. There were people that like, oh, just multiplayer. No, there's fucking Naughty Dog fans that were like, what in the actual fuck? You haven't had Sony hasn't had an event since E3, everybody. Last in 2018 E3. And in that event, they said the multiplayer is coming back. They said that. There's interviews to it. They told
You trying to expose them? What's going on here?
No, it's not. I made a video about this last week, and I gave the quotes to everybody. It's out there. They said it was going to be there. And a lot of people did not like it. A lot of Sony fans didn't like it. You know, the true fans that actually are okay with criticizing a company they enjoy being a part of, right? Like buying stuff. And there's a guy named Robin Gaming who is a huge, you know, PlayStation centric content creator. And he was on Twitch getting so much shit because he was like, this is fucking atrocious. He was pissed. Like he was genuinely irritated that it's gone. And he's like, I love Naughty Dog, but if they're not going to listen to their fans, what the fuck's the point? That's what he said. And he's like, and he said that he's seen the numbers. He said that right now that Last of Us has more people playing it than Uncharted 4's multiplayer. He's like, that's how popular it is. Wow. And he was very irritated with it.
You know who's
and
not irritated? Obi-Wan FTW. He just started God of War on PC. Ooh. Must be trash.
Take a drink every time Zalker uses the F word. We're not trying to kill people. We're not trying to kill people, Colt. All right? We're not trying to give them alcohol poisoning, all right? You caught.
I was gonna say, I still got
Stop
do
building
things
houses
after the
and
show.
stop building dicks and Rage 2, Zalker.
I know, dude. I get attacked.
Where's Randall Thor, man? Randall Thor only wants to come on here when Colt Eastwood's not here. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Guillermo Cavillo as well. He says waiting on these. He
started smoking too, dude. It's bad.
he says waiting on these gaming enthusiasts on Twitter to see how they oh my god, it's gonna be bad, to see how they spin the PlayStation Now bullshit. Guillermo, they're going to damage control so hard, dance so hard, their shoes are gonna burst into fucking flames. That's all you're gonna see. Everyone's on fire. They're all gonna have fire emojis over their face. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I put out a tweet earlier. I think it's gonna be very bad. And a lot of these trolls, well, whatever they call themselves, are really fanboys that go by the term troll. Are really they've got nowhere to go, like rats in a fucking 1-lane maze. Like, where are you gonna go? Can't go backward.
Can I say something?
Of course. I mean, geez, I feel like you're like the help or something. Like, why do you keep asking me to use the bathroom?
I don't know, because you interrupted me earlier. I feel inappropriate.
Well, that was the last time, Zucker. We've moved on.
All right, yeah. So, and the other thing is that Sony, I feel like they're saying a lot of shit, but not actually backing it up. Like they said, we're going to concentrate on more multiplayer. They take out a multiplayer mode. We're going to concentrate PS5 to be more traditional. Here comes God of War on freaking PC and everything else. Everything they've said has literally, they've done the complete fucking opposite.
But I thought that Sony were the ones doubling down on console gaming.
Zucker.
Yeah, doubling down on.
Weren't Sony the ones doubling down on console gaming, Zucker? I could have swore I was told that.
That's what they said, double downing and staying traditional and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, now you're putting your biggest.
You motherfuckers can't read, can you? There's job listings and all this stuff. That's not official. It's a job listing. What are you talking about?
As they're saying that, they're typing up the little thing for the job requirement. Like, that's what they're doing. Shawn Layden's walking out the door. I'm done with this shit.
I'm out. Hey, Colt, Last of Us. What the fuck are you doing? You over there fucking, I always say it, sucking on your toes? What are you doing in the background?
Me.
I'm putting drinks up for Zucker.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, ask away.
Last of Us, multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add.
Do you care?
That. No, I don't care. I wasn't going to play them.
I don't care either because Last of Us multiplayer was never all that
I do know back then, my friends that played on PlayStation, they really liked the multiplayer and they played it a lot and they said it was really good. So I only assumed that the Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer would be just as good. And so if this happened on an Xbox game, I think everybody would flip their crap, not just Xbox guys or not just PlayStation guys. Everybody would. So they're going to put it in later. The weird thing is they're probably going to, in like a year and a half from now, they're going to put out Factions Last of Us Part 2 or whatever they call it, something like they did Lost Legacy. And they're going to sell it for $39.99. and it's going to sell really well, and it's going to get tons of people playing. It's going to be on PS5, and they're going to love it.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
Exactly.
I don't think it's a year. I don't think it's a year and a half away, man. From Sony's track record, every time they show a game, we have to wait at least 3 to 4 years for it. So they haven't showed that. So expect it in 3 to 4 years.
Maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. But
and on top of that, if you are like, well, okay, I'll just keep playing The Last of Us 1. Nope. Servers on Last of Us and all the PS3 ones are getting shut the fuck down. Take a shot.
They always do that, man.
You're going to be shit out of luck.
They always do that. People don't like Gran Turismo 6 or certain things about it. Like, fuck you, GT5 servers are down now. Like,
what do you like now, huh?
Yep. I see Lego. Who's this guy? Lego Comedy. It looks like you're getting destroyed by my good friend Lethal Papa there, buddy. You might want to
Lethal got him.
chill out. A little
and I'm
bit.
going to say, and people say, well, Naughty Dog has always been centric with single player. They have been, but they've also had multiplayer in pretty much every single one of their games, guys. That's
Have
the
they?
point. Yeah, Uncharted 2, 3, 4, all of them had multiplayer. Last of Us,
I mean,
all those
that's
have
a
had
small
multiplayer.
fragment, but yeah, it's never going to go backwards.
Small fragment? That's like their whole entire.
What are you talking
fucking
about? They
library.
did Jack and Daxter, all kinds of stuff, didn't they?
Jack what?
Yeah, okay, Zach, I forgot. You don't know.
Oh!
I think
I'm just
Naughty
saying,
Dog's gonna
since Uncharted 2, they've kind of had multiplayer in every single big.
There
PUBG
you
game.
go. Hey, a little bit of ding ding wordsmithing.
I got it.
shut up, dealer.
Shut up, dealer.
Oh my god. I got to give a shout out. Of course, I got to do it. Almost 750.
Wait, is this a PlayStation podcast?
I know.
tonight,
I
you
don't want to
fraud?
stay on it this long, but I mean, fuck. Tell Phil Spencer to make something happen. I don't know. We got some great topics for Xbox.
Wait. If somebody said in the chat, I think it's the Immortal, said, if Phil Spencer left without saying a word on his Twitter or anything, what would people be doing?
I can think of a few YouTube channels that would be blowing up.
I mean, what do you think they would
With
say, Wilmy?
excitement.
What do you think they
The
would say?
Xbox Done logo would be everywhere.
Oh,
They'd be blowing up
yeah.
with like 2,000 to 3,000 views.
Oh, shut up, Colt.
I mean,
Instead, we
so
get the-
what do
we
you
get the
think that these guys would say, Wilmy, if Phil Spencer, because that's a good point, Jedi. If Phil Spencer disappeared, didn't say shit on his Twitter, Microsoft just put out, well, with great emotion, Phil Spencer got the fuck out. What would they say?
it would be everywhere, man. You know, it'd be the greatest tragedy in the world. I mean, everybody would be tweeting it out. It would be all over YouTube.
And they will be
Xbox
running
is
with,
done.
hey, Xbox sucks so bad, Phil Spencer had to leave, right?
Yeah,
No.
Xbox is done. Xbox is finished. They went broke.
I
mean,
literally
you
would
can just
see
name it.
You would see titles like Xbox finally stands a chance. I guarantee it, dude. I fucking guarantee Xbox
Yeah, that's true.
finally going in the right direction.
Xbox finally stands a chance. Also, this is why I don't play on Xbox no more. So,
Phil
yeah.
Spencer ruined the company and got the hell out.
Yeah. Well, in either case, we do have a ton of great topics, guys. Again, two big things have happened with Sony today, and we spent a lot of time on that. Don't worry, we will get through the topics. Thank you guys for sticking out with us. We got almost 750 people watching us live, guys. Hit that like button, share this thing where you share things. It really helps a lot. Hit that bell icon as well if you want to be notified about new uploads. Just did a video earlier today that a lot of people really enjoyed as well. So thank you guys for supporting the show. Let's move on
Colt made a
to
video too.
Yeah, Colt made a video as well. So if you want more information on the PlayStation,
Made a video?
the PlayStation Now thing, if you want the PlayStation Now information, then Colt's got you covered there. But yeah, Last of Us 2 got rid of multiplayer. Doom also dropped multiplayer mode, which is deathmatch. They do say that we're not going to spend any time on this. Hey, hang on. We're not going to spend real time on this. We spent so much on Sony. But Doom dropped a multiplayer mode, deathmatch. They say to keep people more happy and engaged, we dropped deathmatch. Deathmatch basically can lead to frustration for players, making them unhappy. And yeah, they're not going to engage with the game. But the game still has multiplayer modes. They've got battle mode, things like that. So it's not that the game is completely single player. That's what I was led to believe. It does have a multiplayer mode or two, I do believe, but most people aren't playing the multiplayer for Doom. Also, real quick, I wanted to get ASQD's take on Ghost Recon Breakpoint because he got the game several days early. He's got a lot of time, probably 20 hours in that bitch already. And just real quick, if you're wondering about Breakpoint, I have zero experience with it, but he's a big Breakpoint channel or Ghost Recon Call of Duty channel. He's been on here several times. He says it's much more polished than the open beta. Still a few glitches though. Big new open world to explore. with new mechanics. Also, there is a new tiered loot system, kind of like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, down to the point where you can even change the skins on them once you find that part. And there are more things to do. He overall is really enjoying the game so far. So there's a lot of negativity out there about the game, but I think if you like ASQD's content, which you should check him out, then you might like the game as well. All right, let's move on to the Coalition. D-Bat, you there? I'm gonna make sure you're here first before I call on you and you say, huh? All right, so the Coalition responds to Gears of War 5 microtransaction criticisms, all right? Right now the price for iron was 500 iron for $3.99, and that went up to $4.25, right? And I think that's in pounds. Obviously, it's about like a buck or two difference for each tier of iron, which is a microtransaction currency. We've already talked about on past shows how certain skins are more expensive than they should be, like $25 for some skins and gun skins. I think they should. That's definitely a little definitely high there. But the price has gone up. They say that they will continue to adjust this. They will continue to evolve those prices until they get it right. And I'm gonna start off by saying I don't think any price is really right for microtransactions. But what are your thoughts on? Did you look at the iron and the microtransactions or anything? Do you remember the last show when we talked about it?
Yeah. Honest to tell you, I don't care. It's cosmetic shit. Like, it doesn't affect the way you play the game. It's all cosmetic. So if you want to pay for it, like, go ahead, pay for it. Pay the price that's listed.
So you just said, fuck the haters. It is what it is.
It's cosmetic. It's not something that you need to get. So I don't blame them. Get that money. Every other game is doing it. Apex, Fortnite, all these games, they have the same type of microtransactions that are just like apparel, that are just cosmetics. And people buy them up, I don't know, because they just got nothing to do with their money. I don't fucking know. But to be honest with you, I think it's a non-issue. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It's cosmetic. It doesn't affect the way you play. It doesn't give you a better kill ratio. It doesn't do shit. It just makes you look different.
There ain't even no skins in there. Wasn't even really
that bright pink outfit.
You need that bright pink outfit.
You look faster.
Yeah. Yeah, there aren't even that many skins in the damn game. I'm sure those who've checked out the store, like last time I looked, it was really pathetic actually. Like there was nothing in there to buy.
Rod just said that most everything that's cosmetic you can unlock in the game, and they're constantly tweaking the economy of microtransactions to make it more desirable for the customers. Like they said, it's a work in progress. So it sucks right now. Maybe it won't suck as much later, but I mean, it's dumb. And like Dee said, it's cosmetic stuff, and it's made for suckers. That's what when I think of stuff like that, it's for people who just like to blow money on little things. Like, oh, that looks really cool. I mean, I have a good friend who bought a freaking Pegasus in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I shoot his rear end out for like 2 weeks, and I don't like to name names. Deal, you don't name names, do you?
I would never talk about Zocker.
No, it wasn't Zocker, but I mean, yeah, it's. I don't. But it was interesting. Just yesterday, Rod said on Twitter, he responded to someone and said it's work in progress. They're trying to change it in flux and get the right balance. It's totally. He said it's totally different from what we did from Gears 4. We no longer have loot crates that drop down, so we've gone away from that. We're trying to feel it out how to do it right. What?
Surprise.
How to do it right for 5?
Yeah.
Huh?
EA tries spinning it and say these are surprise mechanics, not loot crates. Surprise, bitch! This shirt costs $20. Sir X-Man just took a giant dump on Sony and Microsoft. Says Nintendo are the only ones staying true to themselves. You know what? You got a good point there, buddy.
Everything Nintendo doesn't apply to, like, they do their
they're
own
either
thing
on their deathbed or they're fucking dominating. It seems like
it's amazing.
Weird. Yeah, so it's
I'm
gonna
probably get chewed out for this, but I participate in microtransactions. But when it comes to Gears 5,
this man.
What?
I know.
I snorted some microtransactions last night. You know, it's
right. No, but I will say the Gears 5 though. I feel like the best things of the game have already been given us for free. You know, those Halo characters, the Terminator, even Dave Bautista. Like, I have not seen anything that I would want to waste the money I waste on those things. So, you know, I'll say I'm guilty. I put $20 into Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But-
honestly, it's so much content though. It's like, man, I love this game so much. I don't even care. Like, I'll buy the extra little thing because you went above and
So
beyond.
it was you.
You went above and beyond
No,
for
it
me.
wasn't.
So you know what?
I know
don't
who
even
bought
give
the
a shit.
Pegasus. I actually know who bought the Pegasus because he talks about it all the time. But
You
no,
don't say names, right, Centurion?
yeah, I didn't buy the Pegasus. I
Don't
bought the
tell him, Zucker.
Underworld pack. I wanted to look like a flaming demon. So yeah, that's the one I bought.
Well,
hey,
I got the Pegasus for
165
free
hours in
for
that
doing their streaming beta. So, screw you.
Oh, well, look at you.
well, look at you go, D-Bats. Aren't you just
Fancy
fucking
Pat.
special?
This is why you're the most talented on the panel.
He figured it
Just
out.
want to let you
man.
guys know we've got someone in our RDX panel that got a free Pegasus. That's amazing.
Yep. And that bitch does not fly. If you're wondering, that bitch does not fly. Charlie Walker says Xbox game streaming app is now live. Bing/Google it.
What?
What?
You heard Charlie Walker. Don't question this. Don't question him.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said Xbox
What?
game streaming app is now live. Google/Bing it.
I'm
Oh,
just going to
wow.
go to the Windows Store and see if it's there.
Is it on Android or is it on?
Charlie Walker, you're gonna have to inform these gentlemen because I do not know. Thank you so much,
I'm pretty
Charlie.
sure you need a sign in though, and that's where Xbox or Microsoft probably gives you your credentials to use it.
I got to give a shout out to. Oh, and by the way, guys, we are just for those that missed the beginning of the show. We're giving away a copy of Borderlands 3 this show, thanks to Wilmy Hood. Sir Wilmy Hood here. We have
Yeah.
a magic phrase that was mentioned on Wilmy Hood's podcast last night. I was on the show, and when I asked for that magic phrase, put it in the chat. If you were there, you know the word, and you won a copy of Borderlands 3 on whatever platform you desire. And again, thanks to Wilmy Hood for that. Shout out to Robert Cummings, Free Jack, Darth Vicious, Greg E3 Egg, Lone Star, of course, Charlie Walker, Mighty Ragnarok. Just going through a section of guys in the chat real quick, give some shout outs. Thank you guys for powering the show like you do. Let's get into, again, another topic here while I switch tabs. New AAA Ninja Theory game, details leaked via hiring. I did cover this in today's video. And again, we do got some other topics as well, but I wanted to put this out there as well for the panel's opinions. So there was the job listing seeking even more employees. The studio is well over 100 developers right now. I think they were around 70 when they got acquired or something like that. So they are growing at a good rate. I could be wrong on that number, but they've grown at a good rate. There's 6 more job postings to work on a AAA title, quote unquote. Yes, their next game is a AAA game. People try to say they're a AA studio. I get the confusion because they were at a certain size, but now they are really ramping things up. Not only that, but they want to set a new bar when it comes to the visuals, right? So if you are going to apply for this job, you need to be ready to work with advanced visual features, advanced texture work, shader work by hand even. Of course, photogrammetry, which is an advanced kind of scanning technique used in Frostbite a lot. Also, we've got new AAA game will set the bar for visuals according to this job listing. So whatever Ninja Theory are working on, and there's more details I think in my video along with some capture of that gameplay and stuff to kind of go through and compare. But whatever they're working on, man, like Colt, what do you think they're working on? Like, this is a big AAA game to set the bar, meaning top the industry. If you are setting the bar, you are on top. You pick that bitch up and you put it up higher, so people down there couldn't reach it. What do you think they're working on?
I don't look at Hellblade when I think of what they could be working on. I bounce my expectations off of Enslaved Odyssey of the West. If you played that on the 360 PS3 era, that was Andy Serkis was the main. He was a gorilla human, and he had a girl with that was like a sniper type telepathic
I love that
partner,
game.
like it was an AI partner,
I
and you
remember
were
it now.
in like the Last of Us post-apocalyptic world when the Earth had been abandoned for so long it had overgrown with green and robots. Like
Nature took over.
Yeah, nature took over, but robots were ruling the world like the dinosaurs, kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn did. But this was like a 2010 game, so that's a really well done game. I'm hoping that Ninja Theory is building something as big as that. It had Uncharted style parkour climbing. It had melee combat and shooting. It was really good. So I'm hoping they're making something big like that.
Hey, guys, in the super chat, Charlie gave his email out, so maybe if you want to email him about the details. I'm not sure if you already talked to him. But if you want information on that streaming thing, he says on Play Store, I have Link Official as well. So Charlie's on top of things, man.
It's on the Google Play Store?
If you write
it's only on
Xbox,
PC.
if you write, no, it's on your phone. You can get the app right now. If you write Xbox game streaming, parentheses preview, close parentheses, it will show up at the top. And I downloaded it while Dealer was talking. So I'm hoping that Ninja Theory is making something as big and fun like Enslaved Odyssey of the West.
Well, I'm going to say this. It sounds like, if you guys remember when they were acquired by Microsoft, they had that like video, right, where they explained to their fans why they did it. And they're kind of like, everything we brought up to Microsoft, they were like, okay, do that. Okay, do that. Whatever you want to do. And this sounds like this is what they wanted to do. You know, they were kind of stuck in that between AA, AAA. And some people are saying, oh, Bleeding Edge is that, you know, single A trash. It's like, no, maybe they had that game that they were just doing for fun. And then they have this big game in mind that they couldn't do because of budget restrictions. And now Microsoft trusts them enough as a creative unit to go do that. And it's obvious because they're giving them the money and the budget to hire all these people to make a huge AAA game that's setting the benchmark in visuals. Like this is from the guy that made, what did he make? The Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, right? Like that game is gorgeous.
This is the A team there at Ninja Theory, not the Bleeding Edge team. Yeah.
Not the Bleeding Edge. Yeah, and the Bleeding Edge team started off with 5 people. Like literally, they said it, and now there's 12 on it. Oh, like holy shit! Like it's gonna be the big. No, this is not the game that they're gonna hang their hats on.
You remember before E3, like everyone saying this is the game they're working on. Like what a bunch of idiots, man. We even told them like, look, this is not their main title. We know for a fact it's not their main title. We've talked to people about this, and we'd heard things about this game well before it was even announced. And it had come along a little bit since then.
It seems like, honestly, like Ninja Theory listens to the public a lot, to the people. Like it listens to the gamers and their fans because they came out on E3 and said, this isn't the only game we're working on. And they said that. And then it's like, yeah, and it's not even the A team, right? Like we just discussed. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what they can do visually. I think they're very talented. I think I feel like Microsoft trusts them to give them this much money. Like, and that's a big thing, right? They trust the creative process. They trust the people working there and the leaders, the people that are in the lead, like they do Playground Games and Coalition.
They're veterans.
They have a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're veterans. They know what they're doing. And if for them to create something like a Hellblade or a Bleeding Edge with such crap budget, it's like, what can they do when they actually are given the money and the technology to do something?
I think
great?
Hellblade was made on $10 million, and I think that included marketing.
And that includes saving the goddamn company.
Yeah, it did.
Like,
it did.
literally.
Chat, let us know what you think they might be working on. Honestly, what could it be? A new IP? Are they just going back for Hellblade 2? I honestly think that Hellblade 1 doesn't really need a sequel. I think it's a great self-contained experience. If you haven't tried it, get it on Game Pass. Let us know what you think they're working on. Also,
on Game Pass, it's trash.
Game Pass is trash. Zalker, real quick. We're going to give everybody an update on Apex Season 3 before we can move on and get into some of the better stuff, in my opinion.
Okay. Crackhead. Yeah, no, Apex Season 3 is really good. A whole new map. They took out the old one. Now it's a bunch of new environments, bunch of new buildings, architecture. It's extremely open. It's fun. Their new character is awesome. He's like this dude that kind of has like a god's eye view with his drone. Honestly, it's like it's just a cool game. It's a lot of different mechanics. They changed a lot of the guns. To me, I think they're doing BRs right. Call of Duty with Blackout did nothing, brought no new maps, brought nothing new to the damn thing, and it became stale within a few months.
You don't got to talk shit, Zalker.
I'm going to talk shit because I enjoyed Blackout, and then it just became shit because they didn't support it. EA is actually supporting their game, people, and they're listening to their fans. They actually are listening to the fans, and it's a lot of fun. It's a big update. It came out today. I've been playing it all day. I'm having a fucking blast with it. Check it out, everybody.
Hey, Cat Miller in Super Chat says, do any of you remember Marvel Nemesis? That was pretty cool. It came out on PS2 and Xbox. I do not. I actually do not.
I remember that.
Was it any good?
I'm trying to remember if it's the one I'm talking about, if I'm thinking about it.
Well, thank you for your Super Chat, Cat. Let's go ahead and move on. Apex Season 3, again, if you got any other questions, any details, just get at Zalker on Twitter. What's the deal with this COD, Call of Duty, losing pre-orders? According to some people that are basically saying they got some information, it's losing pre-orders due to this survival mode, the sliver of the survival mode being exclusive to PS4 for a year. Now, whether it's a sliver, whether it's 1%, 10%, it doesn't matter. I, as somebody who is, get the game on Xbox, is paying the same price, but day one, I'm getting less content that's actually ready on day one. It's not like early maps or DLC, something that comes out later. This is something they're actually literally removing or locking behind a simple piece of code on the Xbox version of the game for the PlayStation 4. Now, the director of the game says PlayStation 4 exclusive content is just 1% of Modern Warfare. Now, what happens if I play that 1% for 100 hours? What percentage of my time is that? Secondly, do I pay 1% less even? No. It's kind of the principle of the matter once again. It's interesting. Chat, let us know what you think about this. There's some people pissed off about this, man. This game mode is not DLC or early access. You are basically selling me less game. Even if you're excited for the game, you should never want less content for the same price as somebody next to you on a different box, right?
Yeah, I find it horseshit. I think that it's complete. Like, Activision is just fucking pieces of shit. So take a shot. And I think I'm really irritated with it because they literally went from one huge franchise in Destiny and taking strikes and making those exclusive on one platform like Sony, like making a whole strike exclusive for a year, to going to their next biggest franchise when they lost Destiny and going, let's just make something exclusive here and make an extra buck. That really annoys me. It's stupid. There's just no place for it. Like why do that? And it's like, oh, it's only exclusive for a year. Yeah, dickhead, until the next COD comes out. Good job. Like,
Can I hop in on this?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, I'm agreeing with you, and this actually kind of goes with the earlier conversation of The Last of Us 2. I kind of touched on this on my last video. I feel like this is just PlayStation's cop-out on why they're not invested in multiplayer, and they just use their third-party developers to try to create these exclusive multiplayer experiences for them because they're not creating these experiences in their first-party studios.
You can only fit 2 Blu-ray discs in a case, man.
Gosh, yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say with Last of Us 2, I really hope that game is as massive as they say it is, because Red Dead 2, man, that was a huge game, and it all fit on one disc. So that's where I'm kind of like, this game better be as massive as you say it is, because I just like it was said earlier, man, when you cut something out of a game on the Xbox side, everybody freaks out, wants to start flipping cars and rioting and burning the place down. But on the PlayStation side, everybody's like, oh, well, they had their reasons, it's okay. Give PlayStation a chance, kind of thing. And again, I'm not knocking PlayStation, but I just feel like they're not as hardcore oriented as they say they are. They just seem to like cop out and throw their money everywhere a lot of times just to kind of make up for their shortcomings.
I wonder if they can throw that money that they're paying Activision for Destiny and all that and all these exclusive shit. They just put that money toward investing in an actual multiplayer game. That's a good point.
That's
well, also, what about all the money they're putting? Like, this generation, they've got people to start paying for PS now. I mean, excuse me, PS Plus to charge for that online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And why is their infrastructure still in the same condition that it was during the PS3 era?
I don't know. That's an entire podcast right there.
Yeah.
Aaron in the super chat says, I had it pre-ordered in the PS4 Pro, but now I canceled. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm getting it for the single player. That's what I'm interested in, only because I hear people want a non-violent mode, right? That was the thing with Last of Us. We were talking about how realistic the game looked and how well acted the death in the game was and how brutal it was. And it was a compliment. We said it over and over and over in the show, but of course, one idiot on Twitter was talking about us wanting to get the game banned. We're looking forward to the game, bitch. Like, we don't want the game banned. We actually were making fun of IGN when we talked about a non-lethal mode, because they were saying the same thing about Call of Duty. I feel like I'm uncomfortable. I want a non-lethal mode. And I was like,
lifting it hard.
I wonder if IGN will ask for a non-lethal mode from Last of Us 2 because it's so well done. Just making fun of the website for wanting a non-lethal mode in a fucking game where you shoot guns. That's the point of it. So with Last of Us 2, like they were trying to spin the fact and saying we wanted it banned or some shit. Like, the community's so fucking stupid. I don't even know how I got on that tangent, but either way, right. Call of Duty.
On the Call of Duty thing, they were also saying that somebody hacked the code of the game and found out that loot boxes that they were creating that are going to be probably released a little while after the release of the game actually contain guns that are going to be buffed compared to the guns that you get in the standard game. They're worried that it's going to potentially turn into a pay to win.
Yeah, it will be, because they've already said this Call of Duty Modern Warfare is not focused on balance. They don't want to overbalance a game. There will be overpowered guns. So that makes perfect sense. They're going to charge you for the most powerful guns, and it's Activision. They fucking suck. I don't think anybody else gives a shit about Call of Duty, right?
Actually, I'm looking for the Call of Duty. I played the beta. It felt pretty balanced, to be honest with you. And I told you guys before, I was a big fan of the crossplay, but it does suck that they're trapping that mode behind the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It does.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. With 2v2s is the only thing I'm looking forward to on that thing, and the campaign.
I wish Tim was here because Flight Simulator got a little bit of an update here. It's got a planned decade of support for those that are interested in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Detail levels in the game are actually tied to your internet speed, which is really interesting because what are they using? Some kind of Google Maps or something to like fill out the world somehow or something, right?
Yeah, with Azure, I think that's what they said they're trying to do. And I actually got a phone call from my cousin who doesn't play any video games, but apparently he's a big flight simulator player that I never even knew. And he called me about it, and he like showed me the trailer, and he's like, "Hey man, do you know anything about this?" Because he knows about my channel, and I'm like, "I have no idea, buddy." And he's like, "Well, this is awesome. I might buy an Xbox One X for this." I'm like, "Okay." Like, good luck with that. Like, people actually play this game a lot. Someone's clicking a bunch playing God of War.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We got a bunch of half asleep game playing motherfuckers on the panel today. I always go find a cactus and just sit on it for the show, you know? I mean, that's how I stay awake. So
I was going to say, Dealer, with your internet ping rate that I saw the other night playing Gears 5 with you, that means if you play this flight simulator game, it's probably going to look realistic for you.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I just figured I'd update the chat and let them know about this because I've never really heard of anything like this before. Flight Simulator is doing something really interesting. Gamebred, and by the way, we're coming up to where we're about to give away that copy of Borderlands 3 as well, thanks to Wilmy Hood. So stick around. We got, I think, some of the more interesting topics to go. But Gamebred says, great show so far, guys. Not active. God, what the fuck, dude? My mouse is running low on batteries now. What is going on? I got a ghost haunt my computer, Wilmy. They didn't tell me this thing came with a ghost.
He said I'm pretty addicted to COD mode. Oh, do you want me to read these for you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So that's what Gamebred said. He said, great show so far, guys, and not active in chat too much. I'm pretty addicted
Zucker
to COD
sounds like he's in a
right
Snuggie right now.
I am, dude. Charlie Walker says Flight Sim uses Bing Maps data, aka when Microsoft bought Nokia, here now data via Azure, so it's all cloud. Thank you for the $5, Charlie. And then we have Charlie Walker again. Hey, look at you, buddy, double dipping.
He said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, he put a $20 down. Thanks, buddy. App is a prep. Going by Microsoft history, invites will start rolling out tonight for xCloud. For console streaming, you need to be in the Insider program, and going by Microsoft update history, tomorrow, midday, Thursday, latest Insider update.
Now, look, I heard Colt Eastwood groaning in the background.
I don't want to be in the Insider program. I thought maybe you could bypass that.
I'm just happy we got a word out of you. How you been, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, Colt,
You guys are talking about Call of Duty.
You're back there eating cereal again, aren't you?
Start playing games.
I don't count.
You're just smashing
I don't have
cereal.
much to say about the Call of Duty sliver of 1%, according to the producer that said it was 1% of the game mode, which is a big lie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Again, we got to shout out to us. Almost 700 people watching us live, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 300 for the end of the show. 1,000 after the fact. Tim Dog and Fonzarelli will be back next week. And I hear there should be some pretty good information, some fun stuff to talk about then as well. All right, so we're going to give away this copy of Borderlands 3. And then we've got a few more topics. And then after the show, or at the end of the show, I'm going to ask the chat a few questions so I can kind of get a good survey of some things. But last night, when we had show, we were having a grand old time. And he gave away a code word that he told you guys to say in the chat when asked here. So go ahead. If you know the code word, go ahead and put it in the chat. Wilmy Hood will be paying attention to the chat. He will find a winner and announce it right here. And that's a copy of Borderlands 3, any platform that you want.
Oh,
Do we have any takers, Woomy Hood?
Not yet.
Not
Let's see.
yet.
Oh shit! Can I enter?
Well, there's a 30-second delay too. We'll see. Oh, there it is.
Dread got it.
dreadful.
Oh man, there's so many of them typed it into
What was the account?
the account. D-Batch, where you at?
No, who won?
Oh,
Dreadpool.
Dreadpool.
Oh yes, my sock account won. Awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Most talented.
Yeah, they're you got people just guessing random words now. Ninja
I
Turtle,
like it. Now the one guy texted Frosty mini wheats.
Frosty Mini Wheats, Crispy, Xbox. No, the code is not Xbox. Somebody would have won that shit a long time ago.
And see, I even gave the hint earlier.
There's like a million of them. Right?
You did.
Oh
You
my
did. I
gosh.
didn't even catch that. You actually did give the hint earlier.
See, like Colt said.
Yeah. You did give the
yeah.
hint earlier. So yeah, he'll be messaging you, Dreadpool. Obviously, you have lightning fingers, and you beat everyone with a punch.
Fucking broke his keyboard. Fucking typed it so
He
fast.
had that shit copied and pasted, ready to go. So that's a copy of Borderlands 3, whatever platform you want. Wummy Hood will be reaching out to you. Thanks again to Wummy Hood for giving away a copy of that game on the show. New Xbox console bundles, Cole Eastwood. I don't know. I think you're kind of looking forward to this game, Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, absolutely looking forward
Will
to
be
it.
bundled with the Xbox One X and Xbox One S. It comes with a 1 terabyte console and download code for the game's digital deluxe edition, which I do believe is the best version.
Did you see the case on the console, the custom theme thing? It's all white with black handprints. It's got a P. No, it's just a regular console. It comes with the game free of charge, quote unquote. You know, at regular price.
Yeah.
There is a custom Jedi like Rebel controller. That's kind of cool. I think you'd really. Have you seen it, dealer?
No, I haven't seen it.
Google it right now. I know you're busy doing the show, but actually,
Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this right now.
Yes, please go look it up. It's all black. It's got some got some dark gray distress marks on it, and it's got a couple of logos on it, like the Rebel logo. You'll like it. You need to check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I got a lot of tabs going on right now.
Come
But,
on, just ditch the show for a bit.
Hey, it also includes 1 month of Game Pass. It also includes a month of Xbox Live and EA Access. And just so you know,
Wait, hold on. Wait, Jedi Fallen Order comes with the console?
huh?
Jedi Fallen Order comes with the console.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So that just basically devalues that game. It's a $0 game. Gosh.
What I find interesting though is that it's actually bundled with the X as well.
Yeah.
Yes, which is good.
Going by EA's track record and their good relationship with Microsoft, that's going to be well enhanced for the X, man.
Oh yeah. All the footage they've shown, D, is pretty much 60 FPS as well. I wonder.
And it's probably all X footage because Microsoft has the marketing rights, right, to that game.
And it's PC, I'm sure. It costs $4.99 for the X and $2.99 for the Xbox One S. But keep in mind that's a month of Game Pass, Xbox Live, EA Access. That's over 200 games, including a $60 game or an $80 version of that game as well. So I mean, you're talking about a ridiculous value here if you are looking forward to this game, especially. But even if you're not, that's a lot of games for a chunk of money. Let us know if you'll be picking that up if you're interested. I think Jedi Fallen Order is it's looking good, man. I actually am excited for that game.
I got a little scared when I found out that they were doing a bundle because I bought the Gears 5X Xbox and I was going to cry if they did a Star Wars Edition one, and thank God they didn't. They were only just putting it in with the standard X. But yeah, I got a little worried when I found out there was bundles.
That's fucked up, Philly Eagle. He says, I low-key want this game to fail.
Why?
That's fucked up, bro. Come on. Don't put that evil on me. I'm trying to play this bitch. So let's go ahead and move forward. Xbox.
We need EA to go away. It's basically why you said that.
I heard there's only 4 years left on
Respawn,
EA. I've heard there's only 4 years left on EA's contract for Star Wars.
It's a lot of years to fuck shit up, though.
That's what everybody.
I'm
said
sure
about
this game's
Madden.
going to be full of microtransactions. I'm already looking here at the pre-order, and you get like all these different type of lightsabers and stuff. This
You
game.
want a dildo lightsaber? Here you go, $30.
Apex Legend handle.
Yeah, it probably will. I wouldn't be surprised, D. But I think this game could be a turnaround point for some EA stuff. It's got the creative director of God of War 3 behind it, which that game was fire. And hopefully it's a big Metroidvania type Star Wars game with some really in-depth combat, and it's going to look insane. Hopefully, they do some really cool story stuff as well. They showed a boss fight recently as well.
We've been longing for an action game from the Star Wars universe that's not Battlefront, right? So
this is the closest thing to 1313 that you're probably ever going to get.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that game, they showed it off forever ago. It still looks better than most games to this day, and it's like fucking how long did they show it off ago?
Sick. When he was on the I don't know, like the Falcon or some ship, and he was like falling off and falling apart. It's like, holy shit.
Yep. Yeah.
You think this game is going to be? You think that this game is going to be better than The Last Jedi?
Easily, yeah, I do.
The shit I took this morning was better than The Last Jedi.
There's gonna be a new update that adds Google Assistant to the.
Finally.
Yeah, so you'll be able to not only use Alexa, you'll be able to use Google Assistant as well. I'm not sure. I just don't care about this type of stuff as much. But D-Batch, I mean, you like doing this kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, I gotta tell the story what happened to me, dealer, real quick.
It was prom 1942.
Remember, we were playing Borderlands, and I was talking to you, and I can't say the name of my assistant that was in my room, my Echo device. It heard me say something to dealer, and it shut my Xbox down. We were playing Borderlands, and she goes, "Okay," and it goes shutting down, and my Xbox shut off for in the middle of a game.
Yeah,
shit. Nice.
That was weird.
And I've never had that before. So go ahead, D. Tell me.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I have Alexa. I have a Google Assistant in my house, so it'd be nice to incorporate it. But this was supposed to happen a long time ago. I reported on this maybe like 6-7 months ago. It was supposed to drop when Alexa dropped. So I don't know what took it so long to make its way to the Xbox One X, or sorry, the Xbox. But nonetheless, I think it's great, man. Especially for people that don't want to go out and get the device to have that functionality there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's a bonus.
Sorry, X-Men says I want to give a space ball character.
Spaceballs.
Space from the movie. Yeah, that would be interesting. Let's go ahead and move on to something that I personally enjoyed talking about. The fact that, again, all the haters getting crushed because you just spout off without thinking. Xbox doubling down on exclusive games. They are reconfirming, and from the first time, I talked about this again the other day because Aaron Greenberg is speaking on this, an executive, right? And I like to cross-reference what these guys are saying, and not only that, it's not some random thing with gamingbusiness.org or whatever the fuck. This is Aaron Greenberg himself, who basically confirmed with me that, yeah, it's a pretty accurate video. So he says that people should and this is with an interview with, I forget the site, but recently he talked about how the future of Xbox game strategy is going to work, how their exclusives are going to work. Even explains why Ori and the Blind Forest is going to Nintendo Switch. So he says people should recognize how excited we are with our development studios, basically for the fact they've over doubled them since one of the last E3s. Those teams going forward will be focused on our first party titles. We are not bringing these things to any other console. And if you want the source for this, obviously it's a few videos ago, but it's there. And he confirms that not only that, but Obsidian's next new IP is going to only Xbox, not PlayStation. He confirms that the only reason that the Obsidian game is going to PlayStation next month, which is Outer Worlds, is because of that obligation they had. Remember, they purchased that studio in the middle of development. Now they own them. For now on, they're not bringing stuff to other platforms with their big AAA or big money games. Now, the smaller stuff like Ori, he says that they don't own Moon Studios. They do not own that studio. That studio wanted to bring that title to another platform, kind of like the Cuphead developers, right? And again, they don't own the Cuphead developers. And I honestly don't think they would care too much if they did own them. They're smaller games. They probably want them on mobile devices, Switch, everything that can run it. So they said, yeah, we'd be happy to help you work and get that there. But when it comes to the big AAA stuff, the big stuff that most gamers look forward to, that stuff is locked down to pretty much only Xbox. Cold Eastwood, we have been talking about this for quite a while, and Aaron comes out and kind of hammers in, and again, there is no debate anymore. When you hear these guys talking about Halo coming to PlayStation, how, Microsoft's going third party, I can't wait to play these games on my PS5. I've heard it all. What are your thoughts on this?
It's stupid because they're going off of a rumor about Halo, which is really old and never happened, but they're also, people just don't get themselves informed. Outer Worlds, which was preset to be a multi-plat, is coming to Game Pass, and it's an Xbox Game Studios game. So they have that mixed up. Ori is Blind Forest, which has been out like 3 years, is going to the Switch.
They do own
But Aaron
Minecraft.
says-
Somebody says like they do own. Yeah, that was a
Of course.
pre-existing
Yeah, I mean-
thing.
I mean, Minecraft, they just made it a worldwide phenomenon of a game, and they're going to keep it that way because it's a big money maker. I mean, it's the biggest money maker on PlayStation, not God of War or Uncharted. So Ori and the Will of the Wisps will stay on the Xbox platform. And
For now,
I mean,
yeah.
when I read the article, it sounded like that they're going to keep it on their platform, that there was an exception for Blind Forest. But they did say that games like that make sense on other platforms. Like a game like Ori makes sense on the Switch, you know.
No
It's
Russian is
basically what
such a
he's saying.
fraud. No Russian says Sony turned down Microsoft. That's what happened. You do
Oh
know,
my
like, you're
gosh,
not
give me a
directly
break.
related to Sony, the corporation, right? It's okay. It's okay
Probably
though.
heard that for some fucking.
Oh my god.
You know, No Russian was trying to argue with me that everybody buys Call of Duty on PlayStation, so that makes it better. And I showed him the numbers that all the games that are sold on PlayStation, half of them are sold on Xbox, and there are half the amount of consoles, so it makes sense. But I mean,
Also, No Russian was also telling everyone that Last of Us multiplayer would be more relevant
would be
than Gears
more
of War
relevant
5.
than Gears 5
That's
multiplayer.
that's weird,
yeah.
No Russian, because we have
Yeah, didn't they remove that or something? Did we just talk about that earlier?
Last week he told me, he said Last of Us 2 multiplayer is going to be more relevant than Gears 5, and I said no, that's not true, and he said it's already dwindling on Steam. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
great.
Last of Us multiplayer dwindled into nothing.
Never even came out.
Have you guys ever noticed that multiplayer games hold their value longer on Xbox than they do on PS4?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and when it comes to Aaron Greenberg's quote, Zocker, the Wilmy, any of you guys, it's something that I think should be smashed into people's foreheads, because you got to get rid of this narrative that Microsoft is just putting everything on PlayStation.
I mean, I don't know why people even say that. Like, they just
Because
think
Colin
like, okay,
said
so
that he heard from a friend in his podcast that they're in talks and they want to bring Halo to PlayStation. Then an executive came out and said, no, we've never talked to anyone about bringing Halo to
Has this
PlayStation.
fuckface talked about ever God of War being on PC like it is now?
I don't think so.
No, he hasn't. So how about people just actually wait and see what happens? But if you just listen to what they say, Aaron Greenberg, Matt Booty, they've all said the same thing. Like, yeah, our big games that are coming from our exclusive parties, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be exclusive to the Xbox platform. And these people are going to be making things for the Xbox platform. Last year, when Ninja Theory made their video, why are we making things for exclusives for Xbox platform? Because it's better for our financials than us, right? It helped the company as a Ninja Theory. So, like, everything that's been said is for the Xbox platform. Get that through your thick, dumb heads. That's where it's going to be. Play it on Xbox, either the PC with the Xbox app on there or on an Xbox console. Congratulations, people. It's not that hard to figure out. And now if you want to play Sony's games, you can do it on PC through the cloud or on PlayStation. There you go.
And soon every
it's part
device,
of
right? When they
it's part of
finally
PlayStation.
bring PS Now to mobile.
So
Yep.
you're telling me that PlayStation is PC and PC is PlayStation?
Yes.
That is,
You want to play the best exclusive this generation in God of War? You can do it on PC. It's great.
but now they'll spin it and say that streaming's trash, even though they damage control PS Now when it was at its worst. The Fabs, you got a good point, man. Let's try to get to over 300 likes for the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for rocking out with us. Share this out. Help us out a little bit. We're almost at 300 likes. It really does help. Again, Wilmy, the quote from Aaron Greenberg. I know you're going to say it doesn't surprise you. It's common sense. All of this stuff, most of it's common sense, but, you know, we do... We get our voices out there for a lot of the people in the chat. You know, we like to kind of rub this stuff in sometimes. He just went.
I mean, come on, man. They knew it was going to happen. They fought it. They trashed Game Pass. I mean, the writing was on the wall. Anything that Microsoft does, Sony is eventually going to copy. And they've been watching Microsoft, you know, make money off this and bring in new people. So they were just waiting to spring it. And today they did. I mean, like you said, it's common sense, man. It's business. And business doesn't care about what an internet troll thinks about their income. That's the whole thing. They don't really care.
And they are there to generate that income, right?
They are there to make money, just like every other business on the planet. A business doesn't run on opinions of people on Twitter or YouTube.
And most of these guys don't even game with me. That's the best part. They don't even play games.
I know a couple that claim to be gamers, but they're always playing Hulu. And I did not know you could game on Hulu.
I mean, a lot of them play Twitter. That's their favorite game is Twitter. That's all they play.
That's true too.
I mean, I barely play that game. Twitter, it's got no gamer score. I don't really play it, but I get on there occasionally when I'm bored or when I got things to do. Adam has something very interesting to say. He says, to be fair to Colin, that news came out after his podcast was recorded. I'm a patron of his. Hopefully we'll talk about it next week. Yeah, maybe Adam, you can tell him that, and maybe in his chat or wherever. I've never seen the show, but let him know that, look, Microsoft have already shut this down over and over. Why don't people stop pushing the narrative? It's kind of a problem. That kind of misinformation leads to confusion. You got people in the street now. Ram was telling us, a guy was telling him that, I was thinking about getting an Xbox, but they're bringing all the Xbox games to PlayStation. So I'll just play it there. Like, people actually are starting to think this on the street, believe it or not. Even though to this group of people, it's common sense. Out there, people are actually hearing it, which means it's a problem. So unless anyone else got anything to say on this quote, I mean, we've kind of been combating this information for a while. I feel like it's kind of bigger information than people think it is.
I'm going to say I'm happy that Xbox is investing in a lot of internal studios. I'm happy they're making stuff to make it for the Xbox platform. And I'm happy that Sony's doing the same thing to bring competition to gaming. Yep. So that's all I care about. That's all. I just want good games, great games. I would say that Microsoft, I hope some of these exclusive games are talking about being stuck with the Xbox and the platform. I hope some of them are single-player games. I hope some of them are single-player-driven games. It's what they need. And I hope Sony fucking actually makes a multiplayer game worth a fucking damn. There you go. Take a bunch of shots.
I agree 100% with Zalker.
King Long says Obsidian is making 4 games. Saw NeoGAF and Reset Era. Well, fuck Reset Era. That site's trash, full of a bunch of weirdos. But, well, maybe both of them are, actually. I don't even know. I know Reset Era is. But, yeah, they're working on several different projects. And their big teams are obviously on Outer Worlds. Wrapping that up. Comes out in a month. Or this month. And obviously their new IP. We heard that their new IP is the reason that Microsoft are really interested in buying them. So I'm really excited to see what that is. Supposed to be some kind of crazy AAA Unreal Engine 4 powered game that's like a world-class RPG. And this will be the first game with Microsoft where they actually got the full budget, the full extent of the resources. Remember, they made Outer Worlds largely funded by, well, pretty much completely funded by Private Division or 2K, right? So they were just acquired in the middle of that.
And if you look at everything that these new studios have been working on, once Microsoft finally is part of like the equation where they're giving them money, look at Ninja Theory, look at all these studios actually getting a lot of funding for their games. They're trusting their creative teams that they've hired or bought, because that's what they did when they negotiated this acquisition. They trusted them. They're like, you know what? You have a great vision. This is what we want to see, and have fun. Go do it. Here's a bunch of money. Go make what you got to make. And that's awesome to me. I can't wait to see this start to take effect.
Yeah, and just because they're working, by the way, people are like, 4 games, no, it doesn't mean that they're all large-scale games. Ninja Theory were working on 3 or 4 games, and that was a like 50-man, 75-man team at one point. And they were working on a VR game, a mobile game, and their main game, right? So it's not all AAA. Like, just because Obsidian have multiple projects doesn't even mean most of them will make it out. Remember, Sony Santa Monica were working on a new IP when they basically rebooted God of War. They canceled that new IP, which no one ever talks about, right? Yeah, I mean, they have multiple things going on. Immortal says, awesome RDX as always. Always informative and, of course, entertaining with a great panel. It's nice to return. This fucking chat, man. I swear to God, I got to figure out a solution to this. Nice to return to sanity once a week after a week from Twitter. Yes, thank you so much, Immortal. We need to play some more Horde, by the way. Immortal's in this footage, actually.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
He's the one dying all the time.
No, Immortal's pretty good at the damn game. But again, guys, it's pretty much been our time. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, hit that like button, show a friend, and check out my last video. Check out Cold Eastwood's last video. And if you are a hardcore supporter of the show, I want to know your opinion. So stick around to after the outros, or on my outro, which is at the end. I'll kind of do a quick survey in the chat here and figure out what I should do with some things here. So thank you guys again for checking us out, man. Shout out to everyone who joined. You guys are phenomenal. Centurion, brother, thank you for coming on, man. First time on RDX podcast. Where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
Well, you guys can always find me on YouTube and Twitter at Centurion1307. I really appreciate you inviting me, man. I'm not trying to be a kiss ass, but if people only if people only knew how much Dealer has shaped me as an individual and as a content creator since me and him met in March, that's why I can only recommend that. If people want to support Dealer, you should, because he is an awesome guy and he has been nothing but kind to me since day one.
Man, I feel like I'm on Boom's podcast right now. That was nice.
But what have I been playing? I finally put in 160 some hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Finally got the credits to roll. Now I'm going to start tackling the DLC, so that'll probably be another 160 some hours. But I also beat Gears 5 and Control, and I'm thinking about potentially cheating on my Xbox for a little while just to get some of these PlayStation 4 backlog games out of my backlog.
I thought it was going to get dark for a second there. I was like, not here.
Yeah, he had me worried.
No, my wife is actually in the other room. At that point, if I said something, you'd probably hear me get my ass beat.
You just hear a brick hit the back of your head. Hey, shout out to NASCAR Allo in the chat as well. Failed Pyromancer. Thank you for showing up, buddy. Even though you didn't like that last topic, I'm sure. We've also got Gimme Mike. We've got Imkai. We've also got Lone Star, King Destruction. So many more of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. Hey, Cold Eastwood, buddy, how have you been holding up?
I've been really good. Thanks for having me on my show again.
You've been everything going fine, and
yeah, I have to.
Great?
My outro has to be 1 second shorter than the last because I went over 1 second.
Oh, okay.
But I've been playing Borderlands 3 with you. We're like 50 hours into this game. It's way bigger than the other games. So we're trying to finish that before all the other games show up. Check out my last video. I talked about PlayStation Now and how it compares to Game Pass, and things are changing. So that's kind of the way it's going.
Awesome.
But, yeah.
Where can people find you? You just put out a video today?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Cold Eastwood and Twitter at Cold Eastwood and Xbox Live at Cold Eastwood and Instagram at Cold Eastwood and not Apex Legends.
MySpace and Friendster too, don't forget.
Right.
Periscope me. Sometimes I periscope upside down.
You can find me on Pinterest.
All right. Well, D-Batch, how you been, buddy? What have you been playing? Where can people find you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I haven't really been playing anything today per se, but I will be getting on Ghost Recon after the show. You guys can catch me at Twitter at D_batch, and of course at YouTube at D-batch, and my kid is in the background making up noise.
You limped on the mic like you just got hit with some body shots from Stipe.
For real. And check out my last two videos. I covered The Last of Us 2. And the last video that I did today, it actually has a lot of 4K footage. So if you want to see some really clean 4K footage, well, so-called 4K footage of The Last of Us 2, check out my
so-called 4K footage. Way to throw some shade, D.
They say in the comments. I'm just repeating what they're saying.
Yeah, they really do, don't they? I called Spider-Man 4K, and I'm like, come on. I mean, you're going to have to watch it in 4K to see everything. I'm not saying it's 4K. I know it's fucking checkerboarded. You figure what channel you're watching? I know what the fuck's going on with the game. Wilmy Hood, man, thank you so much for coming on, giving away a copy of Borderlands 3 to the Lightning Finger Deadpool. What have you been playing, and where can people find you, bro?
Man, I cannot quit playing Borderlands 3. I've probably got 80 hours into it, and I just keep finding more stuff to do. So
yeah, it's a big game.
It is huge, and I've got to finish that up before Outer Worlds. I'm sorry, but I appreciate you guys having me on. Because not everybody knows, I defeated the C word last week, so I'm back to 100%. And
uppercut that bitch out the window.
Because last time I was here, it didn't go so well. I was in so much pain, man. I could barely even sit in my gaming chair. So thanks for having me back on, dude. It's great to hang out with you guys. And you can find me on Monday nights at Gaming Beyond the Box. You can find me on Twitter at Wilmy Hood, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. Anywhere there's a game, look up Wilmy Hood. You'll find me there.
Also, you are giving away like $1,500 plus in console stuff like that, and that's legit. Like Womenhood's not like a fake giveaway, motherfucker, right? I know for a fact. So if you want to know all about Womenhood's giveaway, which I know people that have actually won, you can go watch his last video, and the details are in there. And if you want to link your video in the chat or link the channel in the chat, Womenhood, you can. Same for you, Centurion. You want to put your link in the chat in the comment section if the video's up, you can. And people can go subscribe to both of you guys and help spread the love here. I'm always having new people in the show and trying to give people some voices here. We've also got, and by the way, man, we're happy that you're over all that, because couldn't imagine.
Yep.
I appreciate it, man. 'Cause it was a little worrisome there for a while.
Yeah, well,
I didn't even know what was going on with him, and all of a sudden there's a Twitter saying that he's in the recovery room and stuff like that. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
so it's good to hear your voice again, Wilmy. Miss you over on TSGP.
I was told either I'm really crazy or just one tough son of a bitch. They couldn't figure out which one it was. So
why can't it be both?
I know which one it is.
But thank you again for coming on, brother. We do appreciate it. And,
always enjoy it, dude.
Zalker, what have you been playing, brother? And where can people find you?
I've been playing a shit ton of Apex, and in this footage, I'm in there playing Horde mode. We got to 50 waves. That was a lot of fun. Centurion was there. He didn't get the achievement. Everything was
dude, that made me so mad.
I'm sorry.
He got kicked like a wave or two out.
No, I kept getting dropped out of the game. Like literally every time a round would start, it would drop me and I'd have to hop back in.
He got dropped out at like wave 49. It's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, bro.
My God.
Anyways, and I'm the guy dying to the bridge, the laser beams, those things were fucking me up. So I've been playing that. Uncharted, I think I'm like 10 hours into that game. It's actually really well done. The HDR implementation's a lot of fun. I like that game a lot. Uncharted is one of my favorite franchises on PlayStation, right behind God of War. I've been doing that, and I've been on Mixer playing a shit ton of Apex, brother. And you can find me at Zalker87 on Twitter, Zalker87 on YouTube. I post videos. I'm going to put a Apex video out tomorrow talking about Season 3. And I'm about to go play some more Apex and probably stream it on Mixer right now, right after the show. So,
yeah. Thanks, man. Also, when we just put up his link there, so after the show, just scroll up in the chat and click that. Also, Centurion,
let me
please
add my link. It keeps kicking it out.
That's weird.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
No, I don't know why it would be doing that. Just post
Guillermo Calvillo. Read that one.
Yeah. He said,
I think it might be because I'm not a moderator.
Could be, man. Calvillo says, "Fuck cancer. That is all." Yeah. I got some experience with that stuff with people I know as well, and it's not fun, man. So anybody can get away from that. It's great. We wish the best, and hopefully it remains that way, because it's a son of a bitch. Centurion, please put your link when the show renders. It'll pop up on the channel. Just put it in the comment section, and I'll approve it or whatever, because links and stuff I think go through approval, and I'll pin it for you. But and again, I'm rambling, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been playing Borderlands 3 as well. Wreckfest, a little bit of Wreckfest. And thank you guys again for joining us, man. This podcast would not be here if not for you. Now, I want your take on the gameplay stuff, again, because it was kind of hard to keep up. But if it's distracting, if you don't like it, put a 2, right? If you like it, put a 1 in the chat. And I'll kind of take a read from the guys that are still here, the most hardcore of you. And that's kind of who I want to cater the show around. So, 20, no, Zalker, D, no, 21, 3, no. So we got
most talented.
2 if you don't like the gameplay, and keep in mind I'm gonna get some overlays to make it better and move the chat around. Don't worry about if it's cluttered or any of that stuff. If you want it on there and it's not distracting, put a 1. If you don't want it on there, put a 2. And I have yet to see shit because people keep putting fake numbers. God damn it! So we got a 2, we got a 1, and I'm about to just stop asking questions of the chat. 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Bunch of
Put a
ones.
1 or a 2 if you want Super Lucky Stale playing in the background.
So
put a 1 if you think Colt would love Banjo Kazooie.
Hey, we got more 1s than anything now that all the fuck faces are done. Now we got some real numbers here.
But we are
Wow,
proud
dude, way to
fuck faces,
disrespect me
sir.
and D-Batch like that. That's fucked up, dude.
D-Batch is down for life. You can learn a thing or two.
Hey, somebody put 911. So there you go.
Down on you? What?
What?
What the?
All right. Yeah, Colt, you want to read that real quick? Got 1, 1, 2, 1, 420, really? Okay.
Jesus
17,
Vera
38.
says, when I'm not gaming, I'm on Mixer. Met a few new friends I hang out with now and only play on PC. Crossplay has been huge, all while being able to play on my Xbox. The future looks good.
Did you really have to read it that way?
I think I did, actually.
I love
Okay.
it so
Thank you
much.
so much for your super chat, man.
William Shatner on us?
I took a William Shatner.
There was
All right.
a little bit of Casey Kasem in there. This dedication goes out to a dead dog named Scruffy.
Okay. All right. So what it looks like is by and large, the ones have won. Now that doesn't mean there'll be gameplay every week. It depends on the time and stuff like that. But it was pretty easy to do. Threadripper is easily doing it. I'm using like 7% of my CPU with all this stuff going on. Only got like 32 threads here. So it's working fine. I might put some more up next week, and we are definitely working on an overlay. Again, all this stuff kind of costs money, so thank you guys for helping out. And
Is that on OBS?
Yes, it is.
I'll help you out.
With what?
Overlays and stuff.
You're
if
gonna
you need
crawl
help.
into my computer? Work. No, I mean I got a guy on that can do overlays. I mean, and if I could even Colt could do it if he had more time as well. So, but thank you, Zucker. Do appreciate it. But yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for rocking out with us. We are gonna call it a night. We got things to do. Next week's show should be great. Tim, Fonz, all those guys will be back. Again, check the links down below if you want to become a patron. That stuff updates very soon. So if you're going to do that. Thank you to all current and past patrons. Regardless if you're still one or not. Thank you so much for what you've done. And of course, the current ones, you guys are fucking awesome. We are going to get the fuck out of here.
Let everybody.
See ya.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Oh my God.
Later. Yeah.